What's up, y'all? Yo, it's Phonics, man. Right the truth, man. Right the truth boxing. Yo, man. I just want to discuss a couple of the comments that I got today. I'm not giving no facts, no analytics. We just talking here. Um, so John said, when you get used to being a boxing fan over decades, you will see a pattern with young fighters. They will call out anyone and say they are ducking me, and they have not established their name yet, talented or not. But once they get a step up fight against an opponent who is crafty and has credentials, usually they become battle tested. In other words, Boots needs to fight a Ugas or better. He's talking about Jerron Boots Ennis, and he's referencing my video that I made. I want y'all to check that out about them not giving Jerron Boots Ennis a chance in the welterweight division. Yet another contender like himself in Ortiz, so he can get set himself apart from the pecking order. These are straight facts I'm speaking. He is not active enough for one, and two, no one thinks of him enough. I see his talent, yet against the opponents he has faced, I'm still reserving my judgment on him, saying he is ready for a Crawford. Yes, he has size, reach, power, and athleticism, but we do not know he is battle tested, has heart, and how does he do with someone who can take him to deep waters? His opposition and somewhere they are at now in the sport, which are past their prime, will look bad against him. If I was you, I wouldn't question Crawford nor Spence on this one. They've been in boost position in their career being ducked. Crawford now to this day is being ducked. So who are these guys? I mean, what have they done for this to be a desirable fight? Now, if Crawford decided, hey, I will take the kid on, I got Crawford in that fight because he's more seasoned, still top of his game, and has more experience and nuances than Boots. Yes, Boots has the talent and power, yet Crawford has the better boxing IQ and will adjust to him and take away what he likes to do. It will be an exposure on Boots that night, but he needs to fight in Ortiz first, beat him and say, then he can say, I'm the best contender in this division. Come fight me. John has a couple of good points. But my point is this. If you got Spence and Crawford in this division who's holding it up for anybody else to get a chance to get any championships. And my point in that video was if Spence and Crawford aren't gonna fight, which we already see they both playing games, then fight some of these top contenders in your division. Now, all of that sounds good, John. You gonna take Crawford because of nuances, but we all know this, man. Yo, sometimes them young pups will get them old dogs, and these older dudes are scared of their legacy more than anything, and getting embarrassed. This is why dudes is dodging Shakur Stevenson. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. And let's stop talking about Ugas, man. He lost. He lost to Spence, and he looked bad doing it, man. It might be time for him to hang it up. And Mr. Dago the ruler said facts. I 95% agree. He agreed with John. Boots is still in the building stages of his career. Can't get those legacy fights if you're not putting in the work. So you can't be avoided. He's high risk, low reward. He can't offer 10 million to fight either guy. He does not have the fan base to make the fight a blockbuster. He doesn't have a belt. At 147, you have to be with the zone or PBC. And that's totally understandable. But give him a shot because the guys that have belts, they're not doing anything. We just seen Crawford's last fight. You know what I'm saying? And people took the bait, and I guess they paid for that fight. I don't pay for any fights. God bless the hackers. Um, that was bullshit, man. And you see, he took it just for the bag. So stop talking about how these dudes are so concerned with. No, they not. They playing games. Spence is playing games too. As I said in the live last night, Spence said yesterday when he was interviewed by Brian Custer, he said, and quote, before the accident, we was going to announce a fight, but now we pushed it back. So Custer said, well, so when you think about fighting again, he said April and May of next year. So y'all, know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying? Talking about being active. These dudes ain't even active. That'll be another year removed that Spencer's fought. And he didn't say anything about Crawford. So Crawford gonna keep fighting, and Spence gonna keep fighting, and they're gonna keep stealing money, robbing the bank without a gun, and y'all gonna keep paying for these fights. So here's Mr. Dago the ruler again. He said, but no one is ducking Crawford. Errol Spence, if they fight, it's going to be on PBC. Bud is stubborn like Sean Porter said, and he wanted to fight on Black Prime to get the 25 or 50 mil, which is sketchy. Regis Porgea's check from Marvin Nation bounced. Can folks trust these new companies? Crawford did bad business. He should have never told PBC, I want to fight Avizian for money and then go back to bargaining table with y'all. He didn't do that. He blamed pointing fingers and allegedly details in the negotiations. Bad business etiquette. Tell Butter Cyber Richard from Probellum. Okay, look, let's stop playing games. Dudes is in their feelings. And I'm not talking about you, Mr. Dago the ruler. I'm talking about these fighters, man. At the end of the day, if they wanted to make the fight, they could make the fight. People are so greedy for money. Spence and Crawford, that's what they couldn't agree on. You know? So he took this David Evision fight and got with Black Prime. And I don't see them being successful because their undercards, and this might have been their first undercard, but it was horrible. It was horrible. I mean, I had it on, but I couldn't even stomach it. You had out of shape fighters. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know who these dudes were. That they just got out of prison. I don't know where they got it from. The only person you knew was Chris Cyborg, the MMA chick, and she handled the broad because they didn't look like they was even properly classed. So and I'm not hating. Zab Super Judah's the president of that, but they need to take their time and do it right. And basically said it's no reward in a boost fight for them. Of course it's not, because like again, everything is like money. It's about money. Mhm. And then basically said again, right the truth. For real boxing fans like you and I, yes, it's a fight we would like to see, but from a business side, it's no upside for nobody but Boots. Boots isn't a well-known fighter yet, to where the fight would sell or even be profitable for a promoter. Crawford is supposed to be a big dog. We just saw his pay-per-view numbers were without Spence. Maybe once Boots grabs the belt, but right now it's too much risk and no reward for Spencer Crawford to get in there with him. I understand that completely, and my whole thing is this: you're right about that. They need to either A, fight Spence Crawford. Let's go ahead and do something with these belts, or yo, move up and do something, man. Let the dudes that's hungry get in there and do what they got to do. You know what I'm saying? Let young Shakur Stevenson, different division, but let young Shakur Stevenson fight and fight for the title. Like, I'm tired of the games that they playing, man. And it's all about money, and they stringing people along because of their name. Floyd Mayweather did the same shit, y'all. He later on in his career, he just because he knew he could bring you in, he could bring the people in. Oh, I'm fighting Conor McGregor. Oh, I'm fighting Pacquiao. And it was all a fucking joke. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need these dudes to be like Apollo Creed, man. And yo, fight that number one contender. You know, period, period. So that's all I'm saying. The young boy, Bruce Ennis, deserves a chance. These dudes is, you know what I'm saying? Terrance Crawford is not no spring chicken. He's 35. These dudes and he doesn't have a financial reason to fight for 5 more years. He doesn't. And as long as he can make these little bullshit fights, he gonna end his career sooner than later. But I want to see him end it on an embarrassing note and get knocked out by somebody like Boots Ennis. I want to see a young Frank Martin like I saw last night coming in, knock one of these other dudes out. Stop playing, man. Stop playing with us. Make these fights, man. You know, I'm tired of people saying, "Oh well, it wouldn't make no, it wouldn't make sense because they're so greedy for money, and they don't want to give nobody an opportunity." Give somebody else an opportunity. If you're not going to give the fans a fight they want to see, give somebody else an opportunity that's hungry and want to do that. That we know that these two young men that I have on the screen, they're going to be in the game for the next 10 years. Spence and Crawford won't be around in the next 10 years, boxing wise. Not in the ring. And that's a fact. Yo, let's write the truth, man. It's your boy, Fonz, man. And I'm going.